Hey guys, I decided to do a deck profile of a deck that is pretty crazy to put together, but it actually works in theory. So, as you guys already see in my thumbnails, I'm playing Black Wings with Frogs. So Black Wings has a really cool synergy with Frogs, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But the locals I decided to go to was a place called Misplay Games. This place has three retro formats back to back. So I think they start off with Goat usually at 12 p.m. and then Tengu, and then it's going to be Edison. So you can play all three formats in one day. So you only have to give up from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. So I was able to go there and I was able to play all three formats, including Goat and Tengu. So if you guys are interested in just spending only one day as opposed to going through multiple different shops, I recommend going to this shop in particular. Really great for content creating for sure. So I'll get into the deck profile real quick, or not real quick, but it's kind of an idea. So the Blackwing package, I play the three Blizzards. These are my tuners out of the deck. I don't play Vayu in this particular build because Vayu is one of those cards that don't do anything unless you're able to bring it out with Shura, and you have to send it off to the graveyard essentially. It has synergy with the Frogs because with Vayu you can just send it off to the graveyard, but after that it doesn't really do anything. I mean, in the graveyard it can turn into a Synchro monster, but that's pretty much it. Those are my tuners. That's all you really need. Blizzard has a lot of application in this deck because you could reoccur a Blackwing from the graveyard, such as Kalut, and then you can use the effect of Swap Frog to bounce back the Kalut back to your hand. So in this deck, you don't play Whirlwind because you don't want to shut off your back row, so you can't bring out your Treeborn Frog. But the way you get +1s is by using Blizzard or by using Shura with the Kalut. So I'll show you guys in a minute. So that's my tuners real quick. I do play the three Kaluts, best card in Blackwings, a really great hand trap. It makes it so that you don't have to set this card in your spell and trap zone to modify your attack power. So if they MST your back row, then whatever, but you can Kalut in the damage step using this in your hand as a hand trap. So really important. Three Shuras because I was actually not going to play Shura for this build, but I realized Shura is like a +1, +2 on its own. So if I'm able to attack over a monster and then get out one of these monsters, such as Kalut and Gale, you can essentially bounce back the Kalut that brings itself out with Shura's effect. So if you're able to bring out a Kalut, you can use the Swap Frog to bounce it back, and then you have a defense for Shura again, which is really nice because Shura stands alone essentially, which is a really nice card. So it's a good level 4 standalone card that I really like in this build. Other plays you can do is also special summon the Gale out of the deck with its effects negated, and then you can bounce it back with Swap Frog, so you can have a Gale in your hand again for any reason that you might need for removal or whatever. But I most likely get the Kalut out of this if I have the Swap Frog line. But yeah, Shura is really nice because in games 2 and 3, people are going to be kind of hesitant to side deck pulling the rug. And if they're siding pull deck in the rug, then this card doesn't really care about pulling the rug because you can just attack over a monster and then get value. And then also to pair off these cards, I play the Bora as well. So in situations where I'm bouncing back cards with Blizzard, so let's say I return a Kalut back to my hand, I can bounce it back to my hand, special summon the Bora out of my hand. So it does kind of like the whole Swaparoo, where I'm able to have a Kalut in my hand and then have a level 4 non-tuner, so I can go into level 6s with the Kalut in my hand. So I can get an Arm Wing and then Pierce for game. This is kind of a cool play you can do with this particular build. But yeah, Bora is kind of a necessary component of this because it can pierce tokens as well. Yeah, you know how Blackwings are. Dark Arm. So Frogs being able to access Dark Arm is kind of nuts because you can put more damage on the board. But also, if they drop a Gorz on you in the mirror match or they drop a Absolute Zero on you, this card can just access one card out to the Absolute Zero. Yeah, which is really nice. But yeah, not much to say. Dark Arm is just really good in this format. Then we have Gorz because I don't play Whirlwind, so Gorz is really nice. It's a little nice addition to the team because Blackwings can't normally play Gorz, or yeah, they can't play Gorz because they have Whirlwind. But if they don't have Whirlwind in their build, they can actually main deck this. So I really like Gorz in this. It actually won a couple games on its own. Since you are playing Frogs with the Monarchs, you have to play the Kaius. Ideally, at first at the tournament, I was playing the Rises, but I realized after the tournament that Kaius is just better, and I rather have Kaius because you can deal with monsters permanently as opposed to spinning it back on top. In the tournament, I played against Lightsworns. And then I had the Ryza in my hand, and I was like, I don't want to bounce back a JD back to the top of the deck because I could just special summon it. So I'd rather have a Caius in that situation. Although Ryza does have application in this build because I'll show you in a minute. But Ryza does have other applications as well in this deck. But I decided to ultimately cut Ryza from this deck to play Caius. Caius is just too good in this format. So the frog package, you guys already know what it is. The only thing that I cut from this deck is one Treeborn Frog. For this particular build, you don't really need the Treeborn Frog. He's mostly there just so that you can use your Substitute again, but also as a reoccurring resources. So Treeborn does something that Blackwings can't do, is to be able to access their level 7 Synchro monsters. So having the access to the Treeborn means that you can summon a Blizzard, special summon a level 4 from the graveyard such as Bora or Shura, and then you can Synchro summon the Treeborn with the Bora and the Blizzard to make your Armor Master easier. So this is what this deck can do better than the Blackwing deck, because in order to make your level 7s in Blackwings, you have to use Gale with level 4 as your primary way of doing it. And the other way you can bring out Armor Master is by using Vayu and Armwing, but that makes it so that Armor Master doesn't have its effect. So I'd rather bring out Treeborn Frog. Treeborn Frog also allows you to go into your level 8s as well. Treeborn also allows you to go into your level 9s as well. So you can go and make Mistworm with the Blizzard, Caius, and Treeborn. So that's a nice little addition you can do too as well. But it makes it so that you can go into your level 8s easier too as well, depending on the situation. But yeah, I really like Treeborn in here. However, I just only play one copy of it. There was games where people were using Book of Life to banish it, but I never really missed the Treeborn when it was gone. It was just kind of there, kind of like as one of, as a lot of deck likes to tech it anyways as one. Diva Heroes being one of them, and also some quick draw variants also played the one Treeborn. So it's not really necessary to play more than one, especially since you can dump it off the Swap Frog. So this engine is only exactly 10, so as opposed to 11, where you're playing the double Treeborn. But yeah, of course, if you guys know all your plays, the Swap Frog is really important in this deck because you can bounce back Kalut from the graveyard when you revive it off a Blizzard. You can also bounce back the Blizzard itself if you want to have the Blackwing instead. So yeah, Swap Frog really good in this deck. It's basically like your Whirlwind in this deck that's accessible by Substitute, so it's a little bit more consistent, I would say. Yeah. And then the spell lines, I only play the Allure. The Allure, since you're playing such a high dark count, including the Caius, you're able to activate this card effectively. And then you have the Brain Control for a lot of different plays. You can Synchro, you can Tribute Summon, you can do a lot of things. So you have to play Brain Control in here. And then we have the MST and the Heavy Storm. Those are the staple spells. The traps, I'll just go into this one. This is the most important trap in this deck because you could essentially clear out a lot of side deck cards that people side deck against Monarchs, such as Pulling the Rug, as well as Massacre Restrict. But it also lets you disrupt your opponent as well. Whereas regular Frog Monarch lists don't have a way to easily disrupt your opponent. Playing these particular traps allows you to say, hey, you can't really do your cool play that you need to get over my board or to try to win the game. And that's what I really like about Icarus Attack in this particular build. It's also chainable, so you can actually use this card to get rid of all your back row so that you could special summon your Treeborn the next turn. But it has a lot of application, as I've mentioned before. If you're able to normal summon a Blizzard, get out the Blackwing in defense position, using the Swap Frog to bounce back the Blizzard, you now have an Icarus Attack that gets a +1 every turn, essentially. So it's a really cool synergy, like I said before. The Swap Frog with the Blizzard is kind of an amazing combination. The reason why I wanted to play Ryza in the main deck is because you could use the Icarus Attack on the Ryza, and Ryza is a winged beast, so you can tribute the Ryza and destroy 2 cards. But in actuality, I found that Ryza was just lackluster, so I decided to cut Ryza ultimately from this list. But yeah, the other trap cards, I play the 2 T-Roars. Since the deck doesn't play Battle Fader, you're going to need to play cards like T-Roar to end the battle phase so that you could essentially stall out. I didn't play this in the main deck at the event that I went to, the locals that I went to. But going forward, I'm going to main deck this card. It was initially a Raigeki break, but I don't really like Raigeki break in this because it is kind of a -1. And the idea behind Raigeki break is that you Swap Frog to bounce back the Treeborn Frog. But since you're playing kind of a hefty back row, and you don't really need Treeborn Frog for the most part, T-Roar just feels a lot more cleaner as a back row card. It's also good against like when people drop multiple JDs on you. You can just chain this on the first JD effect, and then they can't really OTK you, and so you can just control their board with Caius the next turn or Blizzard or whatever it is. We have the Mirror Force, the Dust Shoot, and the 2 Bottomless. Bottomless is not normally played in Frogs, but you are playing more Black Wings than you are playing the Frog Engine stuff, and also Kai'S's as well. So Bottomless doesn't feel too bad to have set. It's like a 1-for-1. So if you're if you're at if you're an advantage of your opponent, this is good. If you're on defense, this is also good too. So they don't summon another monster to try to kill you. So it's a really good defensive card as well as an offensive card. But yeah, that's the main deck for you guys. Is exactly 40. You guys know me. I like exactly 40. But this deck has a lot of different concepts you can apply. Another thing you can do as well, I forgot to mention. So let's just do the combo real quick. If you have this and you have the Swap Frog combo, where you made the soft lock the turn before like this, and then you bring out the Treeborn, you bring out this. You can go normal summon the Shura for the most part, beat over a monster. That's kind of the combo here. If you sacrifice one of your Kalutes out of your hand to beat over a big monster, so it's like you're beating over an Alias, for example, and you drop a Kalute, then this card can get out a another Kalute out of the deck. So you're able to generate a +2, and then you're able to use the Swap Frog to bounce back to your hand. So this acts as a form of defense in the event that they get rid of your Do Frog lock. Because if they go after the Shura, you can just do this and then block off the attack. Or on your next opponent's turn, you can just attack over a monster. It's a really nice addition to the team, I think, to play the Swap Frog with a Kalute, in my opinion. So that's kind of what you can do. Other plays you can do is, I'll show you guys real quick, is you could do the Swap Frog as usual, but you could also do the Blizzard plays as well. So you can go Blizzard, effect to special summon a monster. So you can special summon a Shura here. And if you guys don't want to bring out the level 6 Synchro, you can also go into Silverwind. A lot of people don't know this, but Silverwind has an effect on summon where it destroys 2 face-up monsters on the field that have lower attack than lower defense than his attack. So you're able to destroy 2 monsters on the field with this that are face-up. So you can Synchro Summon the Shura, the Swap Frog. So you can Synchro Summon all these 4 for level 8. And they can use Silverwind for its effect. And then Silverwind has an effect where it can't be destroyed by battle once per turn. So if they try to destroy Silverwind, he can protect himself from battle. You can also protect another Blackwing as well. So in the next turn, if you do happen to have another Blackwing monster, and you summon it and you try to attack over a monster and they have Honest, this card protects the card from being destroyed by battle. So that's a nice little addition as well for this particular build. That's all pretty much the combo. I don't play the Unifrog, I forgot to mention. So the Unifrog is kind of a brick sometimes in most frog lists. And you don't really need to clear out people's back rows because you have Icarus attack, and you have a lot of like high potential monsters. So when you summon a monster, they're most likely going to bottomless it anyways. So yeah, you want to be able to aggress your opponent since you're playing Black Wings in this deck. Okay, so let's go into the extra deck. We've already seen the Silverwind. I play the 2 Arm Wing because you can pierce with this deck list. The Armor Master is really important in this deck because it's easier to be accessed, and also you get their effects basically. So Armor Master allowing you to control the board and give wedge counter tokens is really nice, and it can't be destroyed by battle. So it's gonna have a Spirit Reaper effect. It's actually better than Spirit Reaper because it has a high stat, and then it also can't be destroyed by being targeted by a spell or trap or effect monster. So that's the Blackwing package. I play the level 9. I play the Mistworm because you can actually make it with the Blizzard and the Caius and the Treeborn. So I actually went into that when my opponent was opening up slow. I played 1 Stardust, 1 Darken, and 1 Thought Ruler. I don't play Colossal because you have the Armor Master to do that same thing that Colossal Fighter can do. Black Rose Dragon to blow up the field. That's actually really important because you can make it easier again with the Treeborn and the Blizzard line. That's really nice. We also have the Goyo Guardian, the Brio, the Catastor, the Android, and the Chimera deck because I side the Cyber Dragon. But yeah, these are pretty much staple side decks or extra deck cards. Side deck. Let's go into side deck real quick. I do play the viruses, the 2 viruses. Because you're able to access the Armor Master a lot better. You can actually resolve this against a lot of different decks, including the Dragon Turbo deck. So if you're able to call spell cards, you can just kill all their cards in their spell in their hands. You can also play this against Hero Frogs because they have Miracle Fusion and Upstart Goblins and a bunch of spell cards. Even Soul Exchange too. You can hit Soul Exchange with this, which is really nice. And then we have the Deck Devastation Virus. I don't really need to go into the viruses. I do side the Unifrog, but in theory, I don't really need it against most matchups. So you don't really need to side this. It could be something else. I'm not sure what it is. I play the 2 Vanity's Fiend in the side deck because it's frogs. And then we have the 2 Dust Tornadoes to be able to destroy back row. Book of Moon actually has application in this build because you can set a monster and attack it over with Shura, and you can also disrupt plays as well. I only play 2 because it's a side deck card. 2 Smashing Ground as more to hit Vanity's Fiend and Christia's and anything that blocks you from attacking. But this card doesn't really need to be resolved most of the time because Shura and Kalut basically cleans up the board for the most part. 2 Cyber Dragons for the Chimera Tech for the machine matchup, and then the 2 Compulsory. Yeah, that's pretty much the deck. If you guys are interested in the gameplay video, as always, I make it as a separate video, so click out of this video to see the gameplay video. I'll also do commentary as well to show you guys how the deck flows turn by turn. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. It's really good. I think it's a really nice list, I would say. In this tournament, I think I got second. Yeah, I got second for this list. So yeah, it's I was able to beat Zombies. I was able to beat I lost against Lightsworn, and I was able to beat what did I play first round? Oh, X-Sabers. So not a very good matchup spread, but in theory, it's all there. So I implore you guys to try out this list, as it is a Blackwing list that is a different variant of Blackwings. Sometimes when I was playing this deck, I often saw only the Blackwing cards and none of the frogs. The frogs are just there for like if you want to go into the Kais line. And also being able to use the dupe frog so that you can bounce back your Kalut is kind of the idea. So it's kind of like a secondary engine so that you could make your deck a little bit better than the other decks. But yeah, that's the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next profile. Peace.